Hi, Julie here with Just Plain Fun, and today I am going to show you how to use the brand new laminated paper bead cutting guides. And basically what they are is just that. They're a laminated paper bead cutting guide. And these are designed to work with guillotine cutters as well as those rotary trimmers. And I don't have a rotary trimmer now. I've been using the rotary cutter with a ruler and cutting mat and stuff. This works too, but it's not as good as those stationary rotary trimmers and the guillotine cutters. And so I'm going to show you basically what I do. And it is designed, the laminated cutting guide is designed to be taped to a guillotine paper cutter with blue tape. I already have some that I've been using, probably 4 or 5 times now. I'm going to set that aside because I don't need it. And I'm going to prepare my paper first so that it'll be ready when I'm ready. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 sheets of paper, and basically what I'm showing you is how to prepare your paper so you can maximize the amount of strips that you get from your paper. So I'm going to set that aside. Okay, and this is the cutter that I'm going to be using. I'm going to prepare this, and you'll understand why I tape this once you start seeing me use the cutter. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this end off because I want it to be 8.5 by 11. And since this is pretty accurate, I'm just going to go ahead and put this up there and cut off at the dotted line, because this particular tablet of scrapbook paper has a dotted line at the top. Okay, set that aside for now, and I'll show you how to set that up in a minute. But for now, you want to set up your paper to prepare it for the cutter. And I use tape. And I'm going to be cutting along this edge, or cutting over here, and I'm going to tape over here. I'm going to give myself a handle that I can use to make sure that I get all of the paper cut. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this piece of tape down. And this is packing tape. This is actually shipping tape. It's a heavy duty shipping tape. You don't need it to be this strong. You could use packing tape, which is a thinner tape. You want to put this on the very edge, like 1/8 of an inch or so, on the edge of your paper. And I suggest putting it on some sort of a non-stick surface, or even a cutting mat like this, because it makes it easier to rip off. This is too slick and it'll make it harder, and you could rip your paper. And then you're going to put your other papers down on top of the white paper. I would start at this end where there is no tape. Make sure it's perfectly lined up. And then set it down. And then you're going to take your other piece of tape. I put 2 here so you wouldn't hear me slice that off. So I've got this ready to go. And again, I'm doing only like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. And that will be enough to keep everything lined up. And I now have a handle that I can use to hold on to my paper while I pass it through the guillotine paper cutter. Alright, so what is the laminated cutting guide, you're asking? I'll show it to you. Okay, in this notebook, this is a notebook I had in my stuff. I didn't buy a special one. Yours is not going to include the binder. You're going to have to go get your own. But what you will get in your package, and let me show you how it's packaged. It is packaged in an envelope like this. It'll have a picture of what you're getting. It'll have information about it. It's a UPC code, and it's just a basic white envelope, and it'll be sent in one of these, which is one of those plastic envelopes. So that's what you're going to get. And inside the envelope, you're going to get a set of instructions. The set of instructions will be in the page protector. You'll actually get the instructions in the page protector. So that's a good thing. That way you can just put it in a binder. But you will not get these envelopes or these pockets that are in my 3-ring binder. I bought these specifically for my templates because I have the whole set, of course. And these aren't that expensive. I might actually provide a link, an affiliate link, on my website so you can order your own. Okay, and these are the 1/8 inch. There's two templates for the 1/8 inch, and they're all two-sided. If you notice, this one's going up and down, and this one's going sideways. And this is the 1/8 inch. It goes from 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch, and this one goes from 1/8 inch to 0 inches. And all of the paper bead cutting guides, their narrow end goes down in 1/8 inch increments all the way down to nothing. So it starts at its widest end, which like for the 1/2 inch would be 1/2 inch, all the way down to the narrowest 1/8 inch increments. Okay, this one's the 1/4 inch. You get three templates on this one. There's 3 in this one. And I don't have the prices off the top of my head, but the prices are on the website and on Amazon. This one's the 3/8 inch. In fact, if you buy the 3/8 inch, the 1/4 inch, and the 1/8 inch, you'll have what you need to make those large holed European style paper beads. You know, kind of like Pandora, but they're not technically Pandora because Pandora is a brand name. Okay, the 3/8 inch has 4 laminated templates in it. And this one goes, of course, 3/8 to 3/8 all the way down to 0. So it's 0, 1/8 inch, and 1/4 inch, and 3/8. The one I'm going to demonstrate today is the 1/2 inch. And I'm going to do 1/2 inch down to 1/8 inch. Again, this one has the 11 inch on one side and the 8.5 on the other. And I've prepared to do mine at the 11 inch because that'll produce a slightly fatter bead than if I use the 8.5 inch bead or guide. Alright, and then we also have, oh yeah, they're also color coded, kind of rainbow-like. So, you know, this is pink and yellow, well, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and we have a purplish color. And then because it gets bigger and bigger, we're up to pink again and we're orange. So it goes all the way up to 1 inch is what I'm going to have available. So for now, I'm going to demonstrate how this is used. And the reason why I decided to put them into pockets is so that I wouldn't have to pull them out of page protectors, wouldn't have to punch holes in them. I like them the way they are, pure and intact. Alright, so I am going to be, this one's 8.5, this one's 11, so I'm going to put it down like this. And I'm going to push it up against the blade. I pull up the blade a little bit so I can see it. And I put that up against the blade and up against the top fence here. And I have my blue painter's tape ready to go. This is like going to be the 4th or 5th or 6th time. I've lost track of count. But it's reusable. And you can keep reusing the same pieces of tape until it's no longer sticky. I have one down here as well, just to keep it in place so it doesn't shift on me. And then I have this little piece that I like to put up here in the corner because it does tend to kind of lift a little bit sometimes. So I'll just put that there to keep that down. Okay, then because I put a piece of tape on here, this gives me a handle that I can hold on to for cutting all the way to the end. And the only waste that I'll have is whatever is in this tape, and maybe slightly more. So I lift up, you know what, I'm going to cut off a little bit here. And yes, I'm living dangerously. That ruler is not meant to do that. Please don't do that with a regular ruler. It's just I've had thousands of hours of experience with a rotary cutter, going back over 25 years. So I just basically know what I'm doing. You can actually also go like that, because basically you're making a handle. And if you notice, it's keeping all 3 of my pieces of paper in there, so you're not going to lose any. And the handle's very important, so that way you can get all the way over to the edge. Okay, so I'm going to lift my blade. See how it lifted up here in the corner? That's why this tape is here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and line my first cut right up to the very first line. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go this way. Okay, so basically what you do is you're going to line it up on the lines of your cutting guide. And I use this ruler to kind of lock things in place. If you don't have one, you're going to have to use your hands like this. But I like to use a ruler. You could probably figure out how to use a straight edge. I also have a quilting ruler. I have a quilting ruler that will work too. The idea here is you want to lock that paper and you want to distribute your strength. So you could do this too. That works. That really works well. But over time, this ruler is going to be a little bit too big to work. That's why I like using this one. So I'm going to go ahead and continue using this one for my next cut. I move it down to the next line, and I slide my ruler over to lock it in place, and I make my next cut. Pull the ruler away, move it down to the next line, lock it in place, and cut. Okay, so let's say I got lost. Uh-oh, I lost my place. So I take my paper, back up to the edge, see where I left off, and then I just continue on. That's how you find your place. Which, you know, I had to figure that one out. Okay, and I'm going to move it down to the next one. Okay, and I'm going to just do this and fast forward through this section until I get to the very end, and then I'll show you what I do. Okay, as you can see here, I've gotten rid of my ruler because the rest of them, I need to see what I'm doing. I'm getting close to the edge, and it's the reason why this shows you why I have that clear tape on there. This is a good handle. I can see where I'm at, and I can get the most strips possible out of this strip without having to cut the rest of it by hand. So I'm just going to show you all the way. I will probably only waste whatever is inside the tape, and that is it. But I am looking underneath my bar because I do have line under there. I'm lining it up, and the bar also, the tape also gives you something to hang on to. All right, so I've got one more piece, and yes, I do have a line right down here in this corner, and I have one up there, and this will be my final cut. Done. So this is all I have left, and it's part of the handle, and I think that's pretty good for all the waste that you're going to have. It's too bad we can't come up with a use for this, but it served its purpose. It's done, and if anyone has a better idea, let me know, because I'm willing to hear new ideas. But this works for me. It works for, I did 3 layers. You could possibly do more. And let's see if I can grab that in the middle piece. Maybe I can salvage that one. Look at that. I got an extra piece. So this works. You're only wasting 2 little strips of paper, and you got this one you can use as a waste bead. Alright, so now this is my pile of papers that I got, the strips from this particular template. That's pretty good. That's 3 sheets of paper, by the way. So, and I will roll these up and make something into them, one of these days. Maybe I'll do a dark green, light green, or dark green, white necklace or something. But anyway, I wanted to show you how these worked. Oh yeah, and I'm done with my this particular template, so I'm going to put my tape away. Tear it off carefully. You can reuse it, put it on the side of your guillotine cutter or somewhere. where it's not going to interfere with your other cutting, and that way it'll be there the next time you need it. So that is that. That's how I use it. Okay, look on our website at jpfon.com. The link will be in the description below. Thank you, and thank you for watching, and until next time, have a great day. Goodbye.